at Waldo Lake. We're at the Shadow Bay boat launch day use area. Today we're planning on going around the southern end of Waldo Lake from the Shadow Bay area around to the Klovdahl Bay area. So it's Tuesday, August 22nd, 2017. There's a big parking lot here. I believe the trail picks up across the parking lot where that sign is over there. So let's go see what we find. Here's a sign that says Shoreline Trail. I'm assuming this is where we're going to want to be. We're going to find out. Well, shortly after you leave the parking lot, you come to a little junction here. And then up here I see a sign that says left for the shoreline and right for the point. We're going to go left. We want to go around the southern tip of the lake. Well, we took a little short side trip down to the lake here. It's really smoky today. This is not cloudy, this is smoky. There are a lot of forest fires in the area, central, southern Oregon. The water is real clear, you can see that. This is one of the clearest lakes in the world. It doesn't even look like there's water there. That's the shore. So, we're going to have a smoky day, but hey, it should be a fun hike anyway, so let's continue on. So you go loop around past the boat ramp, pick up the shoreline trail again over here. This is looking across at the boat ramp where we just were. We've looped around. So far the trail is awesome. I guess it's a popular biking trail as well as hiking. I think it's about 20 some miles around the lake, 21 miles? 22 miles? Okay, well here's an intersection. I think we were on the shoreline trail and I believe now this turns into the Waldo Lake Trail. There's a Harrelson horse camp this way. I believe we want to go this way. Little bridge over a creek. It looks like it's not running right now. It's been pretty dry. It's August, end of August, and we haven't had much rain. Still a few mosquitoes out though, so if you come, bring your mosquito spray or whatever you like to use. So far the trail's been pretty easy. This is about the toughest spot we've seen right here. Otherwise it's been pretty flat, just kind of following along the lake. Look at the big leaves. And this is where some of the mosquitoes are coming because there's some stagnant water down there. This little draw, it's not really running. There's the lake, still pretty smoky. That's looking north up the lake. There's a little island. It's cleared up a little bit, enough to see the island. You can see how clear the water is. Quiet too. Well, it sure is lush around here. Quite a few big trees. I believe they're predominantly hemlock. Some pretty nice ones though. Well, we've come to a shelter. Let's go look. Oh, it comes with a stove and a splitting axe. Except for the stovepipe's off a little bit. South Waldo Shelter. Nice. Place to sleep up there. Off the ground. Bunch of firewood. Picnic table. Kindling, yep, the whole works, an axe. Or splitting maul, I should say. Well, just past the South Waldo Shelter, there's an intersection here. This is the South Waldo Trail number 3586. That goes up towards Mount Ray and Island Lakes. So we continue on the Waldo Lake Trail number 3590 this way. Nice little clearing. Probably a camp spot out there, I'm guessing. Oh yeah, out by the beach, there's the fire ring. That'd be a nice campsite to paddle into. We took a little side trip down to the beach. Really smoky. You can barely see past that point, and that's only 200 yards away. Still pretty cool though. That's why we chose this hike today. We wanted to go climb one of the local mountains, but no use in climbing a mountain when you can't see anything. So we're staying low today. Here we are at the junction of the High Divide Trail and the Waldo Lake Trail. 2.3 miles back to Shadow Bay, where we came from. And here's a little campsite. We should be near Klovdahl Bay if we're not there already. Man, the lake is so smoky you can barely see anything. It's crazy. You can really smell it too. It makes it kind of hard to hike because you're sucking a lot of smoke. This looks like a bay of some sort, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a big lake, isn't it? Yeah, the water's super clear. Look at the rhododendrons. I think, aren't they? Pretty happy whatever they are there. Well, this is Klovdahl Bay, and this is the intersection of the Black Creek Canyon Trail. And this is a spot that Simon Klovdahl, who was an engineer, tried to build a diversion tunnel from the lake to the headwaters of Black Creek. And he was going to use the water coming off the lake for electric power and for irrigation. And according to the book I was reading, he spent 2 years blasting a diversion tunnel, but abandoned it after realizing that he overestimated the amount of water that the Waldo Basin collects, and it wasn't going to work. But I haven't seen any evidence of this tunnel, but apparently he spent 2 years trying to blast this tunnel before he abandoned it. So kind of an interesting piece of history. We'll look around a little bit and see if we can find some evidence. I would think there'd be something if he spent 2 years blasting. Some kind of evidence, so. Kind of interesting though. And we'll probably go up the Black Creek Canyon Trail for a little bit. So once you leave the Waldo Lake Trail, you need to fill out your wilderness permit. We're entering the Waldo Lake Wilderness. No bikes allowed according to that sign up there. So just in case you get lost out here and they find your car back at the trailhead, they want to know where to look for you. This will give them a clue. And you fill it out, it's free permit, and you leave part of it here and you take part of it with you. Well, it took a little snooping around off the trail there, but here is Simon Klovdahl's outlet structure from the lake that he spent 2 years digging a tunnel on. Still pretty smoky in the lake. There's a sign down there. Let's go take a look at that and see what the structure looks like. Well, here's the view from up above on this tunnel that he started to build, or did build. There are several gates here. It looks like, I haven't looked at the other side of it yet, but these appear to be something that would open and close a gate or a valve or something. Julie's making her way down. view from down below. Like I said, those must have been some sort of connected to some sort of gate or a valve of some sort. So what does it say here? Can you imagine pristine Waldo Lake, one of the world's purest lakes, as a reservoir? Now try and picture this alpine lake connected to power plants, irrigation canals, and farms in the Willamette Valley. The Waldo Lake Irrigation and Power Company had just this in mind at the turn of the 20th century. It was a difficult task between 1909 and 1914. Simon Klovdahl, a civil engineer from Eugene, and his crews worked year-round through snow and mosquitoes to construct a tunnel and headgate. Construction materials had to be hauled by horse-drawn wagons over 90 miles of steep mountain trails from Bend and then barged across the lake. But their plans were never realized. Lack of money and markets for water and electric power caused financial trouble for the company. By 1918, Willamette Valley farmers, fearful of an irrigation monopoly, organized opposition to the project. The company finally dissolved in the late 1930s. And then down here, around 1930, the Forest Service revoked the power company's permit and assumed the responsibility for preserving the lake and maintaining the leaky tunnel. If Waldo Lake had been used for irrigation for just one season, it's estimated that the water level would have dropped 25 feet and taken 10 years to refill. Since 1960, the Forest Service has engineered 2 major tunnel repairs. Scuba divers were employed on one project to seal off the floodgates with concrete. In 1987, the Forest Service poured a 6-foot thick concrete plug to stop a leak in the tunnel. The dreams of Simon Klovdahl and his crews have vanished, but the headgate and tunnel remain a testimony to the changing ways in which we view natural resources. Waldo Lake, once an economic venture for a few, is now protected and preserved for future generations. And there it is, a little smoky, but it's still here. Well, that water sure is clear. You probably can't see it from this angle on the video, but man, that is some clear water. Well, we're still on this side trail that came off of the diversion project there. I think it goes back up to the main trail. We came in from the other way, which is a little steeper. We didn't know this trail was here. You big guy. Okay, buddy, back as you were.
Look at that thing.
Look at the toad. Okay, here's the intersection with the main trail again. There's no sign here or anything. You'd think they would put a sign there to tell people that it's there, but this is going back the way we came from. There's a big log. Like I said, I think this is predominantly hemlock, mountain hemlock. Still making our way back to Shadow Bay, where we came from. The Klovdahl Bay diversion project was pretty interesting. There's a pretty little meadow. Lush vegetation. Goes over this way too. We're back to the shelter. That means we're on the very southern tip of the lake. Mosquitoes are still out. Okay, southern tip of the lake. We loop around back to the north a little bit and back to Shadow Bay. Interesting little area here, a little bay with, I guess it's a little island out there and a point. The wind's picking up a little bit, the smoke's blowing around a little bit anyway, that's nice. Back to the trail. Oh, there's a nice little sailboat out there. Nice day for sailing. You're not allowed to have anything but electric motors on this lake, so that's another good way to get around here. Anyway, we're just about back to the boat launch, which is just across the way here. I think. Yeah, right over there I believe is the boat launch. Okay, we're back to the boat ramp. So the boat ramp's right down there. Here's the big parking lot right up here. We took off out of the other end of the parking lot, although if you wanted to do a little shortcut, you could just head down to the boat ramp there and start from there. So the hike took us about 5 hours, although we did fool around for a good half an hour or more. We went just over 10 miles. And I would say the hike overall is quite easy. So that's all for today. I appreciate you watching the video, and happy hiking.